Hey guys, welcome to my video art blog, Art Nouveau, with your host Leilani Joy. And on today's episode, I'm going to be doing a quick little demo for you on how to draw the human figure. I've gotten a few requests on how to do this, and so I thought I would do a very brief overview of some techniques and things to keep in mind. A little pre-warning for you. The human body is pretty difficult, and actually I'm still learning that myself. And when I was in art school, I actually took 2 figure drawing classes, 3 clothed figure drawing classes, figure painting, and I think and heads and hands. So there's a lot to drawing a human figure, but most of my teachers would say that if you can master the human form, you can draw pretty much anything, because it's definitely one of the most difficult subjects, because we see them every day and we respond to them and we know what they're supposed to look like. So a couple of things. This is one of the books we used in school called Drawing People, How to Portray the Clothed Figure, and it's Barbara Bradley, who was actually a big influential person at my school, the Academy of Art. I think I met her once. Anyways, this has some really great techniques about proportions, forms, and even how to do fabric, and some really great things to look for. I'll show you a little more detail of that. And there's also, if you want to be a little more cartoony and a little bit more comic book style, there's some great books on, this is How to Draw Manga, which is one I have. A little bit cheesier, a little bit more simplistic, but a lot of the principles are the same. So these are really great to refer to if you're trying to learn. So anyway, I'll show you a few examples out of these books real quick. And since it's a really nice day outside, I thought I would do my little demonstration outside and draw in the sunshine. So let's get started, and I'll show you a couple of things. I definitely cannot teach you everything there is to know about drawing the figure in a short YouTube video, but maybe I can do a series of them and show you a couple of different things. So today I'm going to show you the very, very basics to at least help you get started and get you on your way. So hope this helps, and let's get to the drawing board. So before we get started here, I'm going to show you a couple quick ideas from the Drawing People by Barbara Bradley. And here she has the standard proportions of a figure. She makes a couple of useful notes here that I'm going to read to you. Ideal proportions. I use ideal proportions to draw most of my figures. When I want to draw other body types, I compare them to this standard. So this figure's height is actually 8 times his own head. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's easy to remember that the groin is the halfway point of the ideally proportioned height. The total height of a woman in ideal proportions is shorter than a man's, about half a head, but her total height is still 8 times the height of her own head. If you've seen it in my art, you'll see that I use actually what is called fashion proportions. I think I use, maybe it's 10 or 12 heads tall. So keep that in mind, the amount of realism that you want. So on this figure here, so divide it into 8 equal sections. The first section is going to be the head, so the chin is going to fall in the first line. The second line is going to be the line where the chest or the actual nipples are. The third is going to be the navel, the belly button. The 4 being the groin. The 5th is going to be the end of the fingertips. And the 6th is going to be the bottom of the knees. You can see the bottom of the knees falling. The 7 is where the calf, it looks like where the calf muscles are, or where the calf becomes the ankle. And finally 8 is going to be where the feet fall. So you're going to find that that's a really good standard to go by. They do have some other more simplistic examples in my How to Draw Manga book. So they're actually using sometimes 6 head lengths, and you can see the differences here. This is kind of a nice example to get an idea of what look you want your figures to have. So this being 2 head lengths, which is extremely exaggerated, 3 head lengths, you know, and so forth. And this maybe around here looks like sort of an average person, and then they have the idealistic proportions as well, which is 8 head lengths, which is a very tall, sort of statuesque looking figure. So anyway, those are the very, very basics, and you can pick up both of these books for more in-depth lessons. But with that said, let's do a couple examples and see how it goes. Okay, so I have my drawing board set up, and to get warmed up here, I'm just going to do a quick little demonstration of what we went over in the book. So I'm dividing my drawing paper into 8 sections, starting with the head. The second section I'm going to find is the chest, where the nipples fall. Then it's going to be the navel and the hip box, which the groin is going to be directly halfway, so at 4. The fingertips are going to line up at 5, the bottom of the knees at 6. These calf muscles are going to end at 7, and 8 is going to be where the heels are. So now I'm going to start on an actual photo reference figure, and I'm going to be using a little bit more fashion proportions on this one, but the general principles will be the same. So this is going to be what's called a gesture drawing, and the idea of a gesture drawing is to get sort of the sense of the position and the general balance of the way the body is positioned and standing. So you can see I've done sort of a curved line to sort of just depict the way she's leaning and the way things are shifting. So next I found the angle of the shoulder box, which way it's tilting, and the hip box, which are the 2 really important landmarks to get the correct sense of balance and just the natural way that people stand. So in thinking of that, you also want to pay attention to the standing leg. Which leg is most of the weight being placed on? And in general, that foot is going to be directly below the head. So keep that in mind, otherwise it's going to look like your figure's falling over. So you can drop a center line from the chin down to find that heel. So just to recap here, sort of here's the gesture. And now I'm going to actually sort of render out this drawing a little bit more on tracing paper on top of this quick gesture. So something I like to visualize when I'm doing the torso area is plastic Barbie dolls, the way their torsos are shaped and the way the legs connect to the hips. For some reason, this visualization sort of just helps me while I'm drawing. So you can see I'm getting a very elongated, exaggerated fashion figure here. And feel free to do it more realistic, less realistic, but most of the principles, like I said, will remain the same. Going to render it out a little bit more. Probably not going to fully complete this drawing, but don't be afraid to make mistakes, change your mind a little bit. I'm correcting that leg that I want to be a little bit more planted underneath her, and just keep up the work and keep practicing, and pretty soon you'll have some really great, dynamic, exciting figures. So I hope you found this little demo helpful. I'm sorry I couldn't get more in depth. I'm kind of on a time crunch these days, trying to get a lot of illustrations done for my portfolio. So hopefully I'll be able to do some more in-depth demonstrations on this subject matter later on. But I hope this at least gives you sort of an idea of where to get started with your drawings. And keep sending me requests and questions. I'm going to do an episode probably next on the tools I use and all the materials and where I get them, because I get a lot of questions about that sort of thing. So that'll be up next. And before I go, I had a request from a friend out there who requested to see my Sailor Moon alarm clock going off in all its glory. This is probably the most annoying alarm clock I've ever purchased, so it's basically just used for decoration because I cannot stand the alarm and I don't know who would ever be able to use it. I think I used it a few times and it scared me so badly that I never used it again. So anyway, this is for you. Enjoy!